Hi, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. Today, I still want to emphasize certainty and want you to stay vigilant. And it's so unfortunate sometimes when we have situations, that make us have to change the way that we are or have been. But right now, I worry about us as a people, us as a culture, us as mothers, because when you have raised a child in an environment, you hope that the positive things and the great morals and values are basically what people look at them for. But unfortunately, not all of us share that same affordability. So because of that, I feel like it's very important that we make sure that we're trying to support one another. Today, I'm sitting at the vet. I brought my little Ozzy to the vet because he was a viral cat and he'd never been to the vet. So, to my vet. And then when Ziggy died, my dog, they kept calling me and sending me messages about things Ziggy needs to get done. So I said, Ziggy passed, but I have a cat and I need you to see him. When can we come in? So I'm here. We got the little sign up that says, please sit in your car, call when you get here, we'll come pick it up. Cool. So I'm sitting in the car. My favorite thing are Twizzlers. So I'm being rude, but it feels great. So, first of all, I hope that you all know how much I appreciate you. Those of you that follow me, I hope that you become more engaged. I'm not sure all the ins and outs of YouTube and how they determine whether or not I can see your messages. I don't know if I have to have 100 subscribers, or I do get inbox messages. So hopefully you can just communicate with me. But I know we live in a world today where people are very, unfortunately, superficial. Not saying you are, not saying I am, not saying blah, blah, blah. But if I don't have 1.5 million subscribers, I know you're probably, flying by this and thinking, wow. But reality is reality. And just think about your hustle and your grind. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, the same thing you put out there in the universe is what you'll get back. So with that being said, I hope that most of you will subscribe, like, and come on and comment. With that being said, I'm going to move on to my topic today. It's called Stay Vigilant. Stay vigilant. Vigilant means being aware of your surroundings, knowing at all times where you are, what's going on. I know a lot of you are all into the headphones and stuff, but at this point in time, and I think that I'm not going to just pick on younger people or older people. I'm just going to say people in general. I think that a lot of people don't think that things can happen to them because it's stuff that they see in the movies and so on and so forth. You have to act and perform like it's going to happen to you. Period. It is what it is, and it is the way that it is. Now, some people will listen, and some people will pay attention, and some people won't. And that's unfortunate because it's true. Excuse me, allergies. So sorry. But when you go out in public, there's a young man that just got shot. I never try to judge a situation on the good or the bad. I don't like to jump on bandwagons and be like, oh my God, because he looked like this, this happened to him. And oh my God, because they were this way and not like this way, they did that. I don't like to jump on the bandwagon. Do we live in a world where there's issues? Yes, we do. But just like there's issues against people's social status, there's issues against people's ethnicity and gender and all that other stuff. So I just try to keep an open mind. And what I'm saying is that we live in a society today where we don't have any certainty, where we can't be sure about what is going to happen and who it's going to happen to. So the most important thing we can do for ourselves is to be vigilant. Stay aware of what you know to be a normal scenario. Just like this whole thing with Corona. Because no one did something that they knew they should have been doing in the first place, whether that's wash your hands or not eat a raw bag. I don't know. The reality is everybody's different and everybody does what they want to do. So because of that, you have to stay on top of stuff now, because now you got people out here. I've never had oops, sorry. I have never had anybody steal my stuff or anything like that, but recently, and I think I talked about this before, I was exposed to someone using my credit card at the gas station. This particular day that it was being used, I was laying in the bed. I had told myself, I'm not getting up, I'm chilling today, I'm not going out, blah blah blah. So that's what I did. And with that being said, I get this notification on my phone that somebody is using my credit card at this very moment at the Shell gas station in Carson, California. So I just said, well, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it, because I had, my insurance credit card company gives you this protection or whatever, and that's why that whole microchip came out, because it's supposed to be a lot more identifying and protective over us as consumers. But you got crooks out here that try to figure stuff out and they win. With that being said, what I do like about my credit card company is that if I want to go out and use my credit card, I can use it, and then I can go into the app and turn a lock on, and then it locks the credit card. So if somebody does try to do, damage or violate, then basically what's going to happen is it's going to be denied, and then, I can turn it back on when I want to. So I like that feature, because I get sick of having to reorder a card. And it seems like Wells Fargo, sorry, but I don't know how y'all get hacked. Hey, I'm not even concerned. But the bottom line is, we all have to. Now, this is just embarrassing. It's hot outside, so my thing is melting off of the dashboard. See, and this is where I talk about being real. I'm just gonna hold it. I mean, I make mistakes, you make mistakes, we all make mistakes. So, ain't no sense in hiding it. Hell, it fell off. Anyway, twice. Trying to fall off a third time. Now I'm holding it up. I just want to get through my little bit of time here. But being vigilant means several things, because we are in a society now where we have to make sure that, ourselves, our loved ones, and so on and so forth are safe. We have to be familiar with where we are. Now, when they start lifting off this quarantine or whatever, and I've heard it's being extended into June, not sure what's true. Hey, I live my own life and I do my thing. But with that being said, I'm being respectful, because if I'm not respectful to mankind, then that's just the same as not being respectful to my higher power. So I need to be respectful in all regard. And as long as I'm showing that respect, I know that, I will have my, a favorable outcome out on my character. If anything else, we can't be promised anything, but we do know that there's a lot of strange stuff going on. So as long as I'm out here, I make sure my car door is locked, because I have nothing that you can steal. I have nothing I want you to steal. The things that I have are important to me. That's another one. But being vigilant is a good thing too, because if you are in a restaurant, and like I said, now we're at this stage where we're going to pick stuff up. Me personally, I kind of like it like this. I enjoy being able to be serviced at the curb, because the way I feel is, if this is really a pandemic, they're not going to be able to control it by people being out in the world with each other. So everybody's going to have to be hermited or quarantined and have some type of regulation on everything. So while that happens, I'm at home. I'm working on things that are important to me, things that I hope, I'll be successful with, and just focusing on myself and not so much worrying about being out in the streets, trying to figure out a plan B, if you will. If I do have to stay home all the time, what kinds of things can I find that I need to do. And one of the things is people are getting to spend more time with their kids. I mean, I think this is a beautiful thing. It's a disadvantage in some ways for some situations, but for the majority of the situations, I feel like it's a pretty positive situation. The other thing is when you go out in public and you are basically wearing your headphones, I always suggest wear one in and one out so you can hear and you can know if somebody's coming up on you. Kids, younger people, I'm really talking to you because you guys are so, in a positive way and in a nice way, you're so innocent. And even though you've experienced some things like getting high, and that really isn't an adult thing if you really want to know the truth. I'm not saying it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that a lot of you have gone ahead in things in life before you needed to, period. And so with that, a lot of times as you go through life and do things that you've normally done and say, hey, I got this, what. The problem isn't that you don't have it. The problem is you never went through it to experience how to handle it. Now, I know it's not church, but I do preach because when I'm saying something, I'm saying it from my heart and I'm telling you the truth. So sometimes y'all come out, you grown with this, but you're not grown with that. So in these situations with life where you have people that may or may not like you, don't just take racism as face value like, oh, they don't like me because I'm black. The reality is that's something that's been planted in their heads for a long, long time, but they can change too. And a lot of times you have to lead by example. Now, I can't say what happened with any scenario where it has become a racial thing. I don't even want to name drop because it hurts my feelings so badly to bring those things up that I don't avoid them, but I don't dwell on them either. And I try to use every situation as a situation to rejudge the situation. So when you're out, use one headphone, don't use two. Listen to the things that are being given to you, because if it's true, think about this, that it is all happening because of a racial stir, then if you are in a group of individuals who would most likely have racism towards or be done to, then you actually need to be extra precautious and vigilant, because you can never predict what other people are going to do at any given moment if they think you're vulnerable. And many times things happen because you're vulnerable. And it's so sad that there's a big judgment before there's an immediate response to the way someone did something. Shot this guy who was walking in the neighborhood that they said was very unsuspecting in Georgia, for no reason. So if these things are true, and again, there's 2 sides and 3 sides to stories, and sometimes it just is what it is, then we can only wait to hear what that is. But in the meantime and in between time, don't put yourself out there by acting like, oh, you're gonna raise up because you want to support this individual. You have no idea what is going on with that individual. So you have to know your facts before you actually react. Know your facts before you react. We have a lot of things in the culture as African Americans, as Anglo-Saxon, as Latinos. You have a lot of influences in your cultures that actually make you decide to do the things that you do. Whether you're reacting from a positive aspect or a negative aspect, if you are doing things based on the fact that somebody in your ethnicity is on TV doing it, you got to be careful with that. Because the thing about it is, how do you use them as being positive if they're bringing drama to the TV screen? Think about it. Now, on TV, we watch it for excitement, enjoyment, pleasure, whatever. But everything is not a positive expression of a person, place, or thing, or group of people for that matter. So it's very important that you decide who your role model is going to be. And hopefully they're someone that you can trust, that you're close to, whether they're family or friends. Because once you understand what it is of you needed and how you need to do what you need to do, then you'll follow the right person. But that has a lot to do with being vigilant, because if your morals and values are not in sync with the way things should be done in life, then you're going to be doing things that are against the grain, because you're following someone who might be rich, make a lot of money, might be out here, whatever. And a lot of these people that are famous, they say, don't use me as a role model. But some of you don't have anybody else, so that's who you use. But when you get down to it, when you put yourself out in this world, and I'm telling you, I'm not being oblivious to racism. I was stopped. I was encroaching on a light, in a light, through the light, to the light. The light was yellow. The guy turning left wasn't supposed to turn left until I went through the light. The light hadn't turned yellow when I was on my side. It turned yellow as I was going through the intersection. The man turned in front of me. I put my brakes on, but I was already through the intersection. I just got my brakes on enough not to hit him. And then after I let go of my brakes, I'm halfway in the intersection, so I just go through the intersection. The police officer stops me. Now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm definitely not going to worry about it, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And I always pray that if I'm wrong, that I have that understanding. If I'm right, that I also be exonerated. And then I put that faith out there. So I'm not going to worry about it. But what I can tell you is I don't feel that it was fair. I don't. So with that being said, I just want all of y'all to be vigilant. Stay on top of things. I love you, and take care. Bye-bye.